Imagine you're out in the vast, silent darkness of the Australian outback. Suddenly, a strange light appears on the horizon. It seems to be watching you, maybe even following you. For centuries, it's haunted travelers, and the question has always been the same. What is it, and why won't it just leave you alone? Now, this isn't some ancient ghost story. This is a recent account from someone just driving down a lonely road, being stalked by this silent, glowing orb that completely defied logic. And the unnerving part? It's a surprisingly common experience. So, just for a second, put yourself in that driver's seat. There are no other cars, no towns for miles. It's just you and that inexplicable light perfectly keeping pace. What's your first thought? An angel? An alien? Or is it something else entirely? To get to the bottom of that question, we've got to head to Australia, which is home to one of the world's most enduring phantom light legends, the Min Min light. You know, the stories all share these same bizarre details. Witnesses talk about this fuzzy, football-sized orb of light. Sometimes it's white or yellow or even blue, and it just floats right above the ground. But the thing that really freaks people out is its behavior, how it seems to follow people, perfectly matching their speed, before just vanishing. Poof, gone without a trace. But here's the thing. Long before these were modern tales about mysterious lights chasing cars, this light was a huge part of ancient folklore. And to really get why it's so scary, we have to go back to the original stories. See, for the indigenous people of Australia, these lights aren't some new mystery. Not at all. They've been a known part of the landscape for millennia, with really rich and complex cultural meanings that are tied directly to the land itself. And in that lore, the lights mean different things. Sometimes they're seen as playful spirits, but other times they're considered dangerous, malevolent entities trying to lure you off the path and deep into the bush where you might never be found. And crucially, some are seen as guardians of sacred sites, a clear warning to anyone who doesn't belong there. This user's memory just captures the core of it perfectly. These lights come with rules. There are boundaries you absolutely do not cross. The main theme isn't just seeing the light, it's the danger of following it, of letting yourself be led astray. Okay, but in the modern era, science offers a very, very different explanation. It's one that has absolutely nothing to do with spirits and everything to do with the air that you're breathing. The scientific consensus is pretty clear. The Min Min light is a natural phenomenon. It's a trick of the light, a really rare and complex type of mirage that only happens under very specific atmospheric conditions. It's called a fata morgana. It's a superior mirage, and it's actually named after the sorceress Morgan Le Fay from Arthurian legend, who was famous for creating magical castles in the air. A fata morgana can take a light source from way over the horizon and project this distorted, floating image of it right in front of you. So, how does this work? Okay, let's break it down. First, on a calm night in the flat outback, a layer of cold, really dense air gets trapped near the ground. Second, a layer of warmer air sits right on top of it. This is what's called a thermal inversion. Now, that boundary between the hot and cold air acts like a giant lens. So, light from a source hundreds of kilometers away, say another car's headlights or a campfire, travels towards this lens, bends down over the horizon, and projects a ghostly, flickering image right into your line of sight. And this is where perception just completely clashes with physics. The light feels intelligent, like it's following you. But in reality, you are seeing the mirage of a completely stationary light source. As you move, the angle of the light bending changes, which makes the mirage appear to move with you. The laws of physics keep it at what seems like a fixed distance, and when those delicate air layers shift even a little bit, the mirage collapses instantly, making the light vanish. So how does this one scientific principle explain the entire history of the legend, from those ancient stories all the way to modern sightings? Well, it turns out it connects everything. Let's just connect the dots. Those ancient stories of a single stationary light, that could easily be a fata morgana of a distant traditional campfire. What about the modern stories of a light chasing a car? Well, that's almost certainly the mirage of another vehicle's headlights, maybe 100 kilometers away. And the light that disappears when you get too close, that's just the delicate atmospheric lens breaking apart. What's so fascinating is that these ghost lights aren't just an Australian thing. Not at all. From the Marfa lights in Texas to the Hessdalen lights in Norway, cultures all over the world have stories about phantom orbs. So,
What's the legend where you're from? We would love to hear about it in the comments.
But all this brings up a really interesting question. If there's a perfectly logical, scientific explanation for all of this, why does the legend of the Min Min light stay so powerful and so genuinely terrifying? Well, the answer goes way beyond physics and deep into human psychology. It's about a really primal fear that kicks in when the world itself stops behaving the way you think it should, a concept we could probably call visual landscape horror. As Professor Jack Pettigrew, who was actually the neuroscientist who first proposed this Fata Morgana theory, explains, the experience is just profoundly disorienting. Even for people who have spent their entire lives in the outback, seeing something that violates the basic rules of perception can be a psychologically shattering event. So the terror of the Min Min light isn't really about seeing a spirit. It's that sudden, gut-wrenching realization that the very ground beneath your feet and the air around you can conspire to trick your own eyes. In that vast, empty space, your senses are all you have, and suddenly they can't be trusted. And that's the real ghost that lingers long after the light is gone. The deepest horror isn't some monster you might see on the horizon. It's the moment you realize the horizon itself is lying to you, and you can't be sure of anything you see, ever again. If you found this mix of folklore and physics fascinating, go ahead and share this explainer with a friend who loves spooky stories but might not know the science behind them. We absolutely love digging into these global mysteries. What country's legends should we investigate next? Let us know what you think in the comments. And finally, be sure to subscribe for more explainers where we unravel the truth that's hiding behind the world's greatest legends. Thanks for joining us.